Hi, Michelle Miyagi here. What was a time that I came to a big decision or made a big realization? Well, I'll never forget it. I was feeling so contented and grateful and appreciative. I was there in bed. The children were asleep and I had just read to them and they had fallen asleep. And I just felt so gratified and knew that I was right on track with being a mother. But everything else in my life was just not where I wanted it to be. I was unhappy and I couldn't quite figure it out. Well, or I didn't want to face it actually, and had been evaluating and contemplating and reading lots of things to try to help me figure things out. And that night, lying in bed, just cherishing my children, I just surrendered. I guess you'd call it like a dark night of the soul moment where I said, if this is all there is, then just let me be okay with it and help me just, accept it and be happy. And I fell asleep with the children. We used to have, a futon on the floor, and I would read them to sleep, and I'd fall asleep too sometimes. I ended up sleeping with them a lot. Anyway, I was awakened that morning, and I had this beautiful dream. It was like a metaphysical, spiritual experience. And I've only shared this with a couple of people, but in that dream, there was someone from high school that I had kind of forgotten about. We had gone out on one date. I used to have a crush on him. And I asked him to twerp dance. I dressed up as a flapper and he was a gangster. But after that, it was only that one date. So I had not thought about him for years and years, but in that dream, he appeared and he was wearing the same red jacket as he did in high school. And I just saw him and I was just so overjoyed, and I went to hug him. And then I just had this metaphysical experience, and I can't even put it into words to do it justice. But after that dream, that set me on the trajectory where I knew I had to get a divorce. And it was several years later before I could finally get through it and do it. But that was whenever I made that decision. Deep down, it took a metaphysical experience to get me to that point, because I just didn't want to hurt anybody, didn't want to hurt the family, but I eventually chose myself. And so I guess I'll end there, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, and love and hugs, y'all.